Thanks, Ashley. The first annual Mike Vaz Celebrity and Community Domestic Violence Awareness event will be held on Saturday, March 23rd at the High School of Commerce in Springfield. The event is named after Mike Vaz, one of the greatest athletes in the history of high school sports in Western Massachusetts. Vaz, unfortunately, was shot during a domestic incident in Springfield last month. He's recovering at a rehab center in Boston, but suffering from paralysis. Warren Barnett, a great football player in his own right at Central High School, helped organize the event, and he joins us now live to talk more about it. Warren, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. It's been a long time.
Exactly. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
I remember covering you way back when in sports. It's good to see you. And this is an interesting event. Let's first talk about Mike real quick and his situation right now.
Mike is actually very optimistic. Obviously, he has a prognosis of possibly being paralyzed for the remainder of his life. But being a great athlete that Mike is, and he's a very determined person, he has his mindset on returning back to, his old self.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see it, let's take a look at some video of Mike in action. What a spectacular athlete he was at Commerce, not only in basketball, but also in football as well. One of the only guys, and he might be the only guy, who ever won the Bertelli Award as the best football player and also the Lahovich Award as the best basketball player in the same season. I mean, he's just a spectacular athlete.
Yeah, he's probably a once-in-a-lifetime type of athlete because not only obviously could he be physical in a sport such as football, but he can also be a finesse player in basketball. And he had a tremendous athletic talent, which me and Julius Walker, who also played at Commerce with Mike on both the football and basketball team, we talked about how, a lot of people were taken aback by the skills that we had on the athletic fields, but we were always amazed at what Mike could do on the athletic fields as well.
Yeah, he was head and shoulders above the rest. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly.
You mentioned Julius Walker. He also helped you put this event together. Tell us about this event.
Oh, so basically this was in response to the incident that took place on February 8th. It was just a general conversation between Julius Walker and myself, and we were looking to see if there was something that we can do that would be obviously sustainable in the community in terms of like an annual event or something that we could continue to bring awareness to not only obviously kids in our age bracket, but more importantly the younger individuals in the community. So we just had a general conversation. Next thing you know, we said, hey, let's see if we can do something where we bring a lot of the great players from this region back within the last 20 years, or if we can reach a little bit further, do so. And we actually just started to reach out to people on Facebook.
You asked, and they said yes, and so many of them are coming back. Nicole Evans, Cedric Washington, Kashawn Dodge, Julius Walker, as we mentioned. The list goes on and on there.
Exactly. And it's to the point now where we have so many players who want to participate that we actually have to turn some away, and we're telling them that we'll consider them for the next event. And like I said, we have Ashley Pelzak, who's actually in the Navy right now. She's going to fly in from, I believe it's Virginia Beach. We have obviously Cedric Washington, who's not only a Western Massachusetts football great, but obviously he was a candidate for the Heisman Trophy at one time. So we have a ton of support from local greats, and it's just a great thing that the community is coming together for this event.
And it's not just a basketball game here or two basketball games. There's actually things about domestic violence awareness that people should know about.
Exactly. The whole idea of this event is not necessarily to focus on athletics. I mean, we know athletics would be a way that we can draw people in and draw especially the population that we're trying to target, which are the younger generation, kids who are in high school, kids who are in middle school right now. But what we're going to do at halftime of the actual event is we're going to focus specifically on domestic violence. We're going to have Milta Vargas, who is the domestic violence advocate supervisor for the Springfield Police Department. She's going to be almost like the MC at halftime, and she's going to do a speech. Then we're going to have Malik Champlin, who is a basketball coach at Winnick. He's a motivational speaker. He's going to speak. We're going to have Mike's family speak and just give the perspective about being a victim of domestic violence. We're going to have Julie Treadwell's family speak, who was actually murdered in the incident. And we're going to have a letter that was written by the Ambrose family, Kevin Ambrose, who was a Springfield police officer who was killed, unfortunately, responding to a domestic dispute last year. It's going to be read by a Springfield public school student, Brandon Jones, who's actually a middle school student right now in Springfield Public Schools.
Well, it is inspiring that out of tragedy you guys have come together and been able to put this on, and it hasn't even happened yet, and I'm more excited about it. But
exactly.
That is fantastic. Congratulations. Hopefully best to Mike, and keep him in our thoughts and prayers. And if you want to take part, once again, it's happening at the High School of Commerce. That's on Saturday, March 23rd from 1 to 5. Lots of activities there to raise awareness for domestic violence. Also, it should be a fun time as well to see all these players come back and play some hoop. Warren, you look like you can still play the game here. So
just a little bit.
We appreciate you joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Good luck with the event on March 23rd.
Thanks for having us.